Hey there, this is Cesario here, and welcome to the Creating Agile Organizations video series. And we're going to talk about product and how to define it so that you can optimize your organization. So let's talk about product definition. In the Creating Agile Organizations approach, we define products as a good or a service that an organization offers to its external customers. In order to define the product, we need to take two perspectives. We will need to take, let's say, the marketing perspective, or the perspective of, the products that you actually could find in a product catalog of a company. And we need to mix that, we need to combine that with the internal view. That is, the organizational elements like teams and processes and systems required to develop and sustain that product. And when we combine these two, we can then have a meaningful definition that is useful for making agile organization design decisions. And a product needs to have users, external users. There's a way to make money of it, like a business model to create impact for the organization, of course, that develops the product. And we need to combine these organizational elements so that we have this holistic view of the product. And why do we want to have this holistic view? Because we want to identify all the elements required to create value. We then want to make design decisions to improve the interactions between all these elements, between all these teams and processes and systems. And this is from a systemic perspective, the right thing to do, as I want to point out by this quote from Russell Ackoff. In order to improve these interactions, you have to understand what all the parts are. And therefore, in the CEO approach, we first define the whole product with all its parts, and then we redesign so that we improve the interactions. Now, how can we do that? How can we, find this internal view, find the parts? Well, you start with the users, and these users have these needs and these problems, these outcomes that they want to achieve. And then you study and see, okay, how do they interact? How do they consume this product or service in order to, achieve their outcomes? In order to, develop, sustain, enhance these interactions with the product, which systems, processes, etc. are required. What we do is we identify all the organizational elements that you need to create value. And it has to create this business model. It has to create this impact for the organization. So if there's no revenue stream that you can attach to this complete set, you're probably missing some elements. So you should find those and add those, so that in the end you have this complete holistic view of all the organizational elements that create value for the customer and create an impact for your organization. So we have a product, we have all the elements required to sustain and develop that product. This will give a container, we call it a product group, which is led by a senior manager probably, that is responsible for the success of this product. It contains all these elements that we then need to redesign so that they interact in the right way, so that we can become an agile organization that, as a product group itself, can change direction at a low cost, so that we can be more successful. Now let's close by looking at internal products. Internal products are products that don't have external users, but are still useful. Now, we should be very careful that these are real internal products and not parts of external products, because if they are actually part of external products and we consider them as internal products, this will give us lots of problems, lots of queuing, lots of delays, lots of handovers, lots of problems to become an adaptable organization. So you only want to have internal products if they rarely or never need to change to ship a feature to an external customer. So they are really distinct, really decoupled from your real products. And if they bring no external product differentiation, they are really like internally, no end user, external end user would ever consider that to be a product of your company. For example, an HR portal or an internal self-service software platform, those would be examples of an internal product. Now, we still need to have a useful definition of an internal product so we can make agile organization design decisions. And the good news is we can just apply the product definition that we also use for external products. Why? Now, first of all, your internal product also needs to have users, real users, right? That consume your product, and these users still need to have needs that this product addresses, or problems in their work that needs to be solved. Third, they also need to have these functions, these people, these teams, these components. The only difference that is worth mentioning is the business model. So the business model for internal products is a bit different. So it also needs a clear value proposition. So why are we here? What's the value we are adding here to our users? It also has a revenue stream, but the biggest difference is here. This is not a revenue stream about making a profit from internal users, but instead it's about how can we support them so that in the end we have cost savings. And the third part of the business model for internal products is that it also has to have some costs associated with it. Costs that you would need for maintaining and development of this product. And if you have that, you can then make budgeting decisions and budget allocations, etc., just like you would do for your external product. So an internal product still needs to satisfy all these four elements of the definition of a product. And if you have that for your internal product and your product is decoupled from any external product, then these are perfect candidates for developing using your product approach. So in the end, what we will have is we would have product groups. Like most of them are external products. That's why we are here as an organization. In the middle, we would have some shared services like finance or procurement or HR, operations. And these could develop internal products. It's okay, for this cost savings. And that would be the prototype of an agile organization.